welcome back to Two Falls. Spent a few weeks just kind of taking a break from this, having to deal with some other stuff behind the scenes, but I'm back. Though for you, it will not have even been, it will have just been a week. So yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back to this. Let's go ahead and get back to Jean and Maicon and see where this story goes, and try not to let my tism get in the way, my tism frustrations get in the way with having difficulty understanding the socializations and what would be the best path. Yeah, that was a thing. That still is on my brain, the fact that I struggled so hard with Jean like that. But anyway, as always, SAG-AFTRA, they're still striking. I did look into it not too long ago. They're still going. There hasn't been any news that I have currently seen. So yeah. Also, before we continue, I'm gonna let y'all know there's this game that is soon to be coming out, and I am super excited for it. It is called South of Midnight. If you have not heard of this game, you better look into it. It is by Xbox Studios, but with SAG-AFTRA, I did do a quick dive, and none of the studios that I'm seeing have any connections to the list directly, so they're not on the Struck Works list. Just think everything, because South of Midnight is a really awesome looking game. It has a similar animation style to that of like Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. It has a black woman lead character, which is awesome, and it is exploring a fantasy style kind of story based off of Louisiana Bayou mythology and things like that. So I am excited for it. I haven't really seen a game like this before. If there are those that do exist that are similar to it, I've not been informed of them. But yeah, I'm excited about this game. I can't wait to play it. I can't, April can't get here fast enough for that. But yeah, so you will definitely be seeing that game on this channel. Keep your eyes out for it. If you yourself are interested and want to get that game as well, it is in Steam. Since it is in relation to Xbox Studios, it should be should be available on Xbox as well. But yeah, so keep your eye out on that. Eye out for that. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get back into Two Falls, shall we? Pinipanu. It falls in little pieces. Day moments after that. Telling Tahan Wastatsa the truth. Ooh, here we go.
Calm down! You wonder what the... Hey! Keep in line!
Is this what it come to, Augustin? We don't bend the knee, so you have us poisoned?
Tehan, I assure you this is a grave misunderstanding. Nothing more. Tell your men to calm down.
Haquentito! I am through hearing you pretend to be innocent, you murderer! Jeanne told us everything!
She what? Do you realize what you've done? What God will do to you for betraying me?
Oh, dang.
If God punishes me for this, so be it. But your punishment will be worse. Because I'd rather be a heretic than see you get away with this.
We want justice, Augustin!
Whoa!
Taiwan!
You betrayal! Scum!
Taiwan!
Seize her!
Taiwan!
No! Put me down!
Jeanne! Albert! Let her go! She's...
Stay out of this, Tehan! This ain't your problem. This is between her and... Ah!
Go, dog! Yes, Capitan! Get him! No! No! Put the dog down! Do not hurt him! No! No!
Yeah, no! Stop!
No, boy, please get him.
Oh, you hurt the dog. You're getting it now. Oh shit, everything caught on fire.
It's okay, boy. I've got you.
That dog better survive. Albert, if that dog doesn't survive, you're... Ooh, I'm coming for you.
Hang on.
God knows what you've done, girl. And he will make you pay.
Oh no, the pelt. The pelt. Oh no, the pelt. Because that wasn't far. That fire started not far from the,
Come on. Quit lagging behind.
How much longer till the poste de traite?
Not far now. Just gotta get past these hills. And thank fuck, too. I'd kill a man for a warm bed right now.
I'd worry more about Jeanne if I were you.
Well, ain't much we can do for her. Other than hope she's there. Same goes for that wolf pelt.
that wolf pelt is about to get burnt to a crisp.
Wait. Is that... the winter spirit?
Where?
Hey! Where you going?
You go ahead. I'll catch up. The mist. Is it guiding me? This is worse than ever. Like, the closer we get to that poste de traite, the more it lashes out. I need to warn Pierre.
Micah, get the fuck over here! Holy shit!
What in the... How?
The pelt.
How did this happen?
Who cares? If Shen's in there with the fur.
Okay.
Look! Outside the camp!
Survivors?
We need to get down there and
Can
help.
I move? Yes, stop talking.
Lead the way.
The more you freaking talk, the more it burns.
Jesus Christ.
You! Hey, what's the odds? Hey, we need... Micah! Is that you?
Wait, you know this guy?
He's a friend. I'll explain later. Right now, we need to put out that fire.
No, it's too late for that. Just gather survivors and tend to wounded. I can't handle them alone.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll take care of the traitors. You two, help the Wendat!
Thank you. Hurry, my God.
I need to get in there and get the pelt.
Keep it together, man. We need to get you out of here.
What's wrong with him?
I'm not sure. He was running a fever before getting these burns. But when we put snow on them... You were trained by a medicine man, right? Tell us what to do.
I don't know. I think he's in thermal shock, but great-grandfather never taught me how to handle this. And medicine is sacred. If I act without guidance...
If we don't act, he dies!
Boil water for tea, and mash red berries with bear lard. That should help with fever and infection. You, mix the rest with beaver oil and crushed fir. Apply it like salt once his burns are clean, and hope for the best. I can't guarantee it'll work, but...
Get the pelt. Fuck off, father.
Someone was still inside? Come on!
Lord, you cannot do
Wait,
this!
you!
Not to me! Teon? You spawn of Lucifer. Do you realize what you've done?
What I've done? You brought this on yourself, and I should let you burn for it.
What are you doing? We need to save him.
No, we don't. There is no understanding men who only want to break us. And our people won't know peace until we're rid of him for good.
Leave this man to die, and you'll be the same as him. A person ruled by fear and hate, who thinks some lives matter less than others. And that is not what you stand for. I know it isn't. You told me you wanted to stand tall for the sake of Wendat and white men.
I'll lift the beam. You drag him out.
Right.
What are you doing? Get away! I don't want your pity!
Please just take my hand and...
Don't touch me! I'd rather die than be saved by savages! And I'd sooner kill a heretic than fail to redeem one! Get out of there!
Well, he did.
I learned a hard lesson that night. No matter how hard I try, no matter how good my intentions, some people cannot be saved by understanding alone.
Sadly the truth on that one. Oh, Capitan.
Why? The bleeding won't stop. No! No, 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 no! Please stay awake. I need you. Lord, I'm begging you. Don't take him. I can't do this alone. I'm here, boy. It's okay. I'll be here. Till the end.
Capitan.
I tried. But they won't save him. Shh. Just breathe. We're safe. You can rest.
I'm gonna cry. Can't believe y'all are making me do this.
Qui peut voir le soleil la nuit? Qui peut voir la nuit sans étoiles? Et qui peut quitter son ami sans verser de larmes? Je peux voir le soleil la nuit. Je peux voir la nuit sans étoiles.
Y'all making me cry.
Mais ne peut quitter mon ami sans verser de larmes. Je peux faire de la voile sans vent. Je peux ramer sans rame. Mais ne peut quitter mon ami sans verser de larmes.
Oh! This studio is really pulling at my heartstrings right now. This is not cool. Whew. That was brutal, y'all. That was mean. Oh, give me a minute. Oh, that was rude. Oh. Okay, let's continue with this episode. I swear, if that pelt has not been singed or even touched by the flames, I will be surprised. Just saying that. Time to go look through the rubble and see if there's anything left.
What now?
Now, after having my heart broken,
Onion est content. En Tjekia, ha?
Ja. Skjaraskwa I tja, I nu.
Yadarondon, Magon. Det är Westquak. Attendion Rashondiak.
Ja toch, ja.
okay, I guess I don't get to talk to him. Okay.
Is this seriously all that's left? Christ. How the hell do we start over from this?
How were they supposed to coexist again after losing everything? Would they even want to? How many lives defiled just like the White Wolves for the sake of that scorched horde? How was honoring even one of these wasted lives supposed to solve anything? Maybe my journey had been pointless from the start. The remains of their settlement didn't look like a lost home, but the bones of a beast that fed on greed.
He wanted to be a dad, Flora, more than anything in the world. But all I did was call him a drunk. And now, God damn it. Pourquoi lui?
It's not your fault, Christophe. He's in a better place now.
The sick Wendat, Saranes. He died from his injuries overnight. I just hope my attempted remedy did something to ease the pain. We'll bury you properly soon. May your journey back to Mando be safe. The man in the black robe. He's missing.
What do you mean missing? Does this just do nothing but loop around?
What? You here to tell me Bernard's dead? Get the hell out of here. He's just hurt. He'll wake up any minute now. Has to wake up.
I'm sorry, dude. Alright, let's go under the tree. Guess maybe time to face the winter spirit.
Someone there. Pierre? I had to find the one who did this. He robbed this man, just like the wolf. What kind of mentor defiles his brother instead of burying him? What are you doing?
Crap. Look, this ain't what it looks like, all right? I was only gonna...
What? Keep quiet and hope I never found out? Just like you lied about butchering that white wolf.
How the hell do you know about...
I knew from the start, Pierre. I just wanted to believe I was wrong. How can you disgrace the remains of your own kind? Disgrace anyone's remains? And why would you hide the truth?
'Cause I knew you'd react this way.
How else am I supposed to react? I tried so hard to make you understand us. I taught you stories, principles, the value of life. And now what? You throw those teachings away because they're inconvenient?
You're goddamn right I am. First off, you shouldn't care what happens to this filthy rustler. And I'm doing this because I need to, not because I want to. The only way to survive at a time like this is making the most of what death leaves behind.
That's your excuse for debasing corpses?
What do you mean, excuse? Leaving this guy and his shit to rot would be worse! Don't you Innu live by that whole waste-nothing rule? I mean, goddamn. Say what you mean, and tell me what's so wrong with staying alive!
Survival is not the issue here. It's the fact you do so without any respect for the fallen!
Yeah? Well, respect ain't worth squat if it kills you.
Excuse me?
In a perfect world, we'd be treating every stinking corpse like the second coming of Christ. But fact is, if you die caring for the dead, you can't do sweet fuck all for the living. So, you better face reality and get your priorities straight. Or, you'll be burying Innu instead of saving him. Now piss off and let me work.
Some people cannot be saved by understanding alone. Do you know why Innu won't seek revenge on people like you? We believe in something called Part-3. It's the knowledge that those who harm their fellow man, or the land Mandu gifted us, will one day suffer the same harm they inflicted upon others. That's why overhunting leads to starvation, why hatred begets hatred, and why people like you, who stoke the Winter Spirit's anger, brought disaster onto our home.
What's your point?
My point is, I'm sick of wasting my life trying to help you. I used to believe saving you might somehow save my people. But you never want to learn, and don't care about fixing what you've broken. You aren't worth the breath I waste teaching you to be better. Nor the blood I'd spill making you pay for what you've done. All I do is delay the Part-3 you have coming.
Hey! Where do you think you're going?
To track down the White Wolf you mutilated, and to do everything I can to save the Innu. They don't deserve to suffer the way you will. I don't regret leaving Pierre behind, but it solved nothing. Desolation would still await me into Duskak if I went back empty-handed. And odds were the wolfskin I needed was nothing more than embers. But somehow... What is this?
Did Jean somehow grab it? Does she somehow have it on her?
Was that? It can't be. Right there, at the end of the path, when I thought I'd lost everything.
That's how I met you.
I'm sorry I couldn't help you bury him.
I'm the one who should be apologizing. I mean,
She did
stuff
grab
I
it.
put you through without realizing. I was so stupid and stubborn and short-sighted, and
She
I never
did
wanted
grab
it
it.
to end this way.
Oh, thank goodness.
You did what you had to do. We both did. I just wish I knew what we had to do now.
Isn't this the wolf you've been chasing?
Yeah. But I used to think appeasing the spirit's anger was all that really mattered. And I'm not sure if it's that simple anymore.
I wish you two could have met.
Me too. He sounded like a good friend. I'm surprised you kept it all this time.
Even if it got me into trouble, it let me feel connected to God in a way. But in the end, I don't think he ever listened. And for all I know, he never has. Hey, do you have any idea how we're supposed to move past all this?
Not anymore, no. But I think we should start by going back.
So they finally met. Oh my goodness. So which one am I playing? Maiken or Jean? Maiken.
What's wrong?
It's him. You said he died, but I wasn't expecting to see him like this.
I'm sorry, Jeanne. I swear I did what I could, but... The Homo-Stasta said men in black robes were beyond understanding. And he was right.
No, it's not that. I almost killed people because of him. I couldn't just sit there and let Tehan suffer, but... What if he was right? What if this really is God's punishment for my betrayal? Maybe I never should have had faith to begin with. In him or in God.
What do you mean?
I was too obstinate to realize how far I'd strayed, until it was too late. So what's the point of believing any of this, if all it does is ruin lives?
Listen,
No, Augustin took things too far.
I can't deny Jesuits like him did terrible things using God as justification. And I'm convinced other outsiders will use the same justification to do worse in the future. Because beliefs, they change us. They can color the way we think, limit our perspectives, make us lose sight of what matters. And yet, I don't think that means your faith, any faith, is fundamentally wrong. Even if your faith's convictions led you astray, they gave you reasons to keep fighting too. I know that, because it was the same for me. Giving up on the Innu would have been like giving up everything that makes me who I am. So, if those convictions are why both of us are standing here, I can't truly call them evil.
Then... you don't think I should cast him aside?
I don't know. It's not my choice to make. I just think beliefs should inform who we are without dictating who we have to become. So even if you cast aside faith, never cast aside the courage and the compassion that it taught you.
Valid wisdom, right there. That's some valid wisdom.
I really wish Father Augustin had been more like you.
Seems they started recovering supplies.
Want to give them a hand?
No offense, but I don't think I'll be comfortable around that many outsiders.
Is that because you think we're irredeemable or something?
Worse, I think you're complicated. Every time we're about to see eye to eye, or realize we're not so different, something seems to go wrong. And I'm left wondering if understanding is just some naive dream. But maybe I'm the reason things feel that way.
Hey, yes, quit dicking around and help us out.
I just can't get over the fact everything is changing because of them. I know they're here to stay. That we need to learn from each other, find new ways to coexist. But how do we move past this, when every new path we've tried so far keeps ending in failure?
I'm not sure I'm the right person to answer that. But you may already have an answer, standing right in front of you.
Oh, you're really gonna...
It might be hard to believe, after everything that happened. But the Wendat can keep prospering because of what people like Tejon do. He's living proof our peoples can find common ground. And if you choose to do what he does, maybe...
Tejon Wastasta didn't choose anything. He did this because he had to. Someday, I'll need to make the same sacrifices he did for the Inu's sake. I keep wishing that I'd never chased the White Wolf's killer. Maybe then, I could keep believing an open mind is all it takes, instead of realizing how powerless I really am.
I know how you feel. Part of me still regrets boarding that ship back in La Rochelle. But regret can find you on both sides of the ocean. And staying behind would have only made things worse for both of us. You said your people's values and your love for this land, they're impossible to cast aside. And ignoring the urge to act, only to realize you could have done something before it was too late? That sounds a million times more soul-crushing than this. Because regardless of the outcome, your actions helped people. You saved Pierre's life in that cave. You fought to rescue people in that fire. Stopped Tejon from making a terrible mistake. You're even helping me. So even if there are unresolvable differences between us, we can't let them stop us from changing the things we can change.
How, then? How do we change the right things without changing who we are, what we believe in?
Out there, everyone has to adapt if they want to survive. But adapting doesn't have to mean sacrificing the things that define us, either. It's like Deer don't stop being deer just because they shed their antlers, right? Our peoples didn't make it this far by giving up, and neither did we.
You know, this may not sound like a compliment, but you remind me of my great-grandfather.
That's a huge ass compliment.
You spoke to Pierre?
Yeah. He agreed to take me to Quebec, just like he promised.
Surprised he didn't call that bluff you made to blackmail him.
Well, he might. But I'll deal with that if it happens. How about you? Back to Totuskak?
Mm-hmm. First, I helped the Homostasta's group with reparations, and then... well, I'll admit, I'm still not sure what to do about the Winter Spirit's grudge. But I won't let that stop me from keeping the Innu safe.
Hey, if this is goodbye, then I think you should take it with you.
But that's... I don't know how I could repay you for...
You already have.
I can't begin to tell you how much this means to me. So, I just hope this somehow makes for a fair trade.
You kept it. All this time.
I know you might not believe in what this symbol represents anymore. But I have faith you'll find your way out there, no matter which path you choose to take. So, promise me you won't be afraid of change either, all right?
I promise.
Aha! Starting to melt! Throughout history, Indigenous nations across Canada have been subjected to countless colonial abuses and cultural genocide from European outsiders. The ripples of these atrocities can still be felt today. However, hopes to achieve true reconciliation persist, with activists enacting meaningful change upon our world. This project was made possible thanks to the collaboration between Indigenous voices and creators from outside cultures. We hope it will encourage others to cooperate, communicate, expand their knowledge in the same way. Thank you for playing Chinashkumitin. Any word for thanks. I hope I pronounced that right. Wow. Okay, I didn't know how much more we had here. Unreliable narrators. Y'all did an awesome job. Straight up. I am so glad I played this game, because when I found out about its existence, it was just before it released. I got really excited about it. I'm somebody who always enjoys seeing stories that are unique. Love seeing stories from other people's perspectives, other people's cultures, things like that. And I myself am still learning and growing as a person to, you know, recognize my own humanity in that regard. And being able to play games like this, being able to get different perspectives, to get different stories, helps me reflect on the person I am. And yeah. This game, honestly, I really enjoyed. I am so glad it got made. I'm so glad I played it. And I'm so glad I got to share it with y'all. And I really do hope you guys will get it yourself. I do hope you guys will help support this studio, because I want to see more. I want to see more from this studio. I want to see more projects, more stories, more perspectives. Because this was, in its way, in its own way, this was a very unique way to develop a game. Playing from two different perspectives about people who were on a journey of eventually crossing paths and talking. There is another indigenously created game I do own. I still have not gotten around to playing yet, and it's called, I believe it's called Alone? Look it up real quick while we enjoy the music. Never Alone. There we go. It's called Never Alone. Kishima Inichuna. Or Ingichuna. Kishima Ingichuna. But yeah, Never Alone. That's probably the first indigenously created game that I had ever come across on here. I still need to play that one. I don't know why I haven't gotten around to it, just moods and other stuff. I have heard that that studio is working on another game. The one that made Never Alone, they're working on another game. I think it's either supposed to be a sequel. But yeah. It's... This game hit me in a way I was not expecting, and kind of, funnily enough, helped reveal some autistic hardships in the process. And the really cool thing about this is you can tell that your choices do matter in this game, which kind of makes me want to go back and play it and have Jean and Micah act differently, like see what changes depending on the direction they decide to go, depending on the choices they make, just to really get an idea to see what else could have happened, what else could have come of everything. So yeah. The music, I will say this, the music was great, the story was great. I want to go back and I want to play it again just to see what the different endings are, stuff like that. Y'all, like, Unreliable Narrator, y'all made an amazing game. Y'all made a very interesting story. And like I said, I'm serious. I want to see more. I want to, want to explore more stuff. All right, Codex. Pierre. All right, I'll do the same thing I did last time. So go ahead, pause to read. 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 Oh, was he an actual person? Augustine de Leon. Father Augustine feels like a saint plucked from pages of my Bible. He is fearlessly devoted to the Lord, but has palpable, boundless kindness too. No wonder the nuns at my convent called Jesuits the soldier of God. Jesuits serve the Society of Jesus, traveling the globe to spread the word of the Lord to all. In 1600s, Jesuit missionaries established the settlement of Santa Maria in Wendat territory, where they spread Christian faith to allied indigenous nations. During this time, they evangelized many non-believers, but also spread devastating epidemics that resulted in incalculable fatalities. The Haudenosaunee nation, seeking to retaliate against French incursion and the Wendat forces diminished by disease, Santa Maria was raided. Many Jesuits were captured, and over the course of several years, 8 were ritually tortured to death by their captors. Written accounts describe the missionaries being burned with red-hot metal, bled dry, eviscerated, selectively dismembered, and more. These same accounts describe the Haudenosaunee as god-loathing barbarians whose cruelty could not shatter these pious pastors' faiths. The incident is now considered the most gruesome act of martyrdom ever recorded by the Catholic Church, and these fallen Jesuits, also called the Holy Canadian Martyrs, were canonized as saints in 1930. Knowing the Catholic Church, I wonder how much of that has been heavily edited. All right, pause to read. Ew, no historical facts? Maybe I never got around to gaining those historical facts. Trading posts. Pause to read. Pause to read. Anna. Pause to read. Pause to read. Pause to read. Pause to read. Oh, wow. Haudenosaunee. Most horror stories I've heard in France concern the Iroquois. Everyone said they were merciless raiders who trained their men to feel no pain, that they howled like beasts when they attacked our colonies wielding fire and arrows, that the prisoners they took faced far worse fates than the people they slaughtered, and all of them swore they refused to make peace because their only purpose in life was to vanquish their enemies. At least that's what all those dramatic retellings would claim, but after hearing Tehon's account of the situation, something tells me the Iroquois see us as monsters, much in the same way we see them. Why does the truth always have to be so complicated? Oh. Iroquois is derived from a term meaning snake or barbarian? I'm not surprised. Honestly, when you start digging into the actual meanings of what we now term the English names for many indigenous nations, you come to find out that they were really not being kind in their naming whatsoever. Ooh, see, this is also known as All Hallows Day and the Feast of All. This was November 1st. Also known as All Hallows Day and the Feast of All Saints. That's November 1st. It's a liturgical celebration of the Christian faith dating back to the year 300. It was originally a commemoration of martyrs' sacrifices held between Easter and Pentecost, a holiday associated with the Holy Spirit and Jesus' apostles. Martyrs' sacrifices. Timing. Later in the 9th century, it was moved to November 1st and instead became a way to honor the work of God's saints, whether their deeds were known or not. Toussaint stems from a Catholic belief of strong spiritual connections existing between souls in heaven and souls on earth. The feast is a way for those below to express gratitude towards those above for their work in life and to express thanks for guiding them closer to God. Don't know about you, but that sounded a little bit pagan. But if, anybody who knows the history of the Catholic Church, they had a habit of adopting a lot of local customs to make conversions easier and eventually turning them into Catholic holidays. There are a few that weren't done in that fashion, but there's a lot of there's a lot of evidence to suggest that yeah, some of these are straight up just we're gonna take what's popular here. We're just yeah, we're gonna allow you to celebrate, but we're now gonna make it about this instead. But then again, if one takes any kind of lens to Catholicism, you see a lot of paganistic style practicings. Bear traps. Pause to read. Pause to read. Red. Pause to read. Pause to read. Canoe. Pause to read. And pause to read. Alright, that is everything. Oh, Micah forgot his side of things. Alright, pause to read. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Albert is lucky. Albert is lucky. You don't hurt the dog. That is just ooh. Hoo 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 hoo. You don't hurt the dog. You don't hurt the animals. I say as I look over at my pooch. Nobody's hurting you. Partners. Fauna. Loons. You know, I don't know about anybody else, but I really enjoy listening to the noise of loons. I always find their calls very interesting. Oh, we must have gotten the historical facts. See, featuring countless North American native stories, the winter spirit has countless names, many of which are considered taboo. Oh! So I might have been right after all. It remains a fascinating example of how indigenous oral myth evolved over time, particularly after the arrival and appropriation of European outsiders. Pre-colonial interpretations frame the spirit as a guardian attacking those who threaten nature. Later influenced by European contact, it also defined people possessed by such hunger and greed, subjected to such famine and isolation, they developed isolationist cannibalistic tendencies. Nowadays, westernized pop culture media often frames the entity as a flesh-eating, antlered giant yearning for human flesh. Among Inu, the spirit is named that, a trickster associated to wind, ice, and change, whose presence signifies the consequences of a negative action. It aims to guide people through hardships and toward personal growth, leading them to make decisions that will shape their futures for the better. So my joke that I was gonna make was in fact about this. Though, if I'm being honest, I prefer the Inu. I prefer their version of this being, because a lot of people don't understand. When it comes to a lot of myths, a lot of stories around the world, tricksters are not really evil. Evil is not the correct term. They are teachers. Like, for instance, even in one of the stories, I think it's one of the plains nations. I think Lakota. I might be wrong. If anybody knows, do correct me on this. But Ikhtome and Coyote, they're not evil. They're tricksters themselves. They're not evil, but they are a pain in the ass sometimes. And I've heard some of the stories about Ikhtome and Coyote. how they are friends but they trick each other, and how they end up in a lot of serious situations, or they've ended up being punished by, you know, circumstances due to the choices that they've made. They're supposed to be teachers, just like Loki from Norse mythology. If you really pay attention to a lot of Loki stories and the things that he's gone through, they're there to teach. The whole point of it, like when he does things to the other gods, he's there to humble them. He's there to teach them a lesson. You know, to challenge their own mindsets. And that's the whole point of tricksters, is they're there to teach. They're not really often to be severely malicious, though there are some malicious tricksters, but they're there to be teachers, to give lessons, to teach us the lessons on how to be better for the whole rather than just for ourselves. But yeah. So it was so basically this was the Inu, the more traditional Inu version of what many of us refer to as the Windy Boy. Gotcha. See, the only reason why I'm not reading the name out loud is because I don't know if in Inu culture saying the name is to summon it. Because I know, oh, I cannot remember which grouping. I would have to talk to my friend, Sarapatsi. But if I remember correctly, she was raised on the res up in the Ohio area. I'll have to double check with that one, but like she told me about how one, what we know as the Windy name isn't one its actual name, but two, that for her, I think it was like for her people, it's specifically only during winter it gets summoned if you say the name. There are some other nations where it is believed that it is year round, you just don't say the name, period. I don't know about Inu culture on this one. So while it's there and I'm reading it, I ain't gonna say it out loud because being of Irish descent myself, there are some creatures in Irish mythology that you say the name, they get summoned. As I often make the joke, I may be white. I'm not that white. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I got enough going on in my life. I don't need more. I don't need to tempt fate. Just simple, basic. You know what? Respectful fear. Like I will respectfully decline saying the names. But yeah, it's one of those things. But that I was wondering when we saw those hoof tracks and then hearing the elk-like sound as the creature was approaching, as the spirit was approaching, it was making me question. I was like, wait a minute, was my joke actually on point? Was that because I was gonna make a Windy Boy joke. I can't remember what the hell it was now because it's been a while, but I was gonna make a Windy Boy joke. And I stopped myself because I was trying to be like, okay, not everything that is winter horror, winter related that may or may not be scary to some degree. Not everything is the Windy Boy. Well, apparently in this instance, yeah, it kind of was. And I say kinda because obviously where it points out where, yeah, nowadays westernized pop culture. So how the shape that this winter spirit takes now is in a lot of ways, it's a huge divergence from what it actually is in some cultures. But yeah, it's just one of those things that yeah, holy crap. But wow. All right, pause to read. Pause to read. Pause to read. And pause to read. Alrighty. That should be everything. Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining me with Two Falls. I hope you will be joining me with more Pankapu. we did a little bit more deep diving thanks to Hatter. We looked into it more, and yeah, there is no actual evidence to suggest they got any kind of inspiration from indigenous cultures for Ikitome. Um, and like I said, the name itself looks very, the way it's spelled and everything, it could very well just be Japanese. So unless something comes up to say otherwise or to prove us wrong in that instance, you definitely will be seeing some more of Pankapu. And then, like I said, keep eyes out for South of Midnight, which will be releasing in April. So I'm not sure when those videos will come out, but I'll try to get them out as soon as possible. And we'll see what other games I come across and we upload to this channel. But until next time, thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.